we had a fire on a machine with a fire suppression system on. It didn't perform how we wanted it to perform. It didn't put the fire out. We found a technology that we really liked. We started installing it to heavy vehicles. The systems that we wanted to install just weren't up to the quality and up to the longevity that we needed. We did a couple of years of finding out, testing and setting a light to our own machines. That was one of the things we loved doing on a Saturday.
Yeah, it was only 3 days old as well when we did it.
Literally landed, didn't it, from JCB, and we set a system up and set it alight. We've still got the video footage of it.
You don't actually see these systems, detecting a fire and suppressing a fire. So for us, again, that's the kind of thing we were trying to get out in the very early days, is how effective are these systems, what's the limitation?
With some suppliers of fire systems, you can just buy the fire system off the manufacturer, and then install it yourself. There's some basic training, so that's what we did. They gave us the basic training, we understood the system. Again, like we said, it was nice and simple, and then we started to install it to the machines, and that's where we were starting to see the limitations. Our passion is to get the system right for the customer and make sure that if there's a fire in any of the scenarios, we can put it out. After a couple of 3 years of installing to our own plant and having a play around with the system, really starting to understand the limitations and what we can and can't do, we got to the point where we understood that to go forward, we need approvals.
When you know less, like we did in the early days, you kind of think, well, these approvals, why do people not go through them? They seem on paper relatively easy things to deal with. I think that was probably one of our most naive understandings at that time. We quickly worked out that we not only were we not going to get support from the approval side, but also we had some underlying quality issues with the product that we were buying at the time.
We started to look at other options in the market, and that was really difficult because the technology that we used, we were, I think like a lot of people, brainwashed that there was only one company in the world or in the country that could do that technology. We were kind of backed into a corner. We didn't think we could really do anything other than we only had one option. And then we found another company that did exactly the same. We were really lucky, and we found them and approached them, and a few months later, we bought Reacton. Firewood is a business that we own, that we sell to at the same margin as we sell to other distributors. But it's a UK business that specialises in heavy plant, but it's an R&D arm for Reacton. So we produce a new product that goes into Firewood. We get extremely quick feedback into Reacton. As soon as there's a small problem, or as soon as there's a manufacturing defect or something, then it gets fed back to Reacton within hours rather than days, weeks or months.
So we bought Reacton, moved premises down from Scotland down to Chelmsford.
Literally over the following weekend.
It was, the following weekend. And suddenly overnight, we went from someone who took a product and installed it to someone who had to make the product. To give you a stark difference, when we bought Reacton, there was no CAD program, there was no technical drawings, there was no real user manuals, there was no specification data sheets. And now you've got user manuals that are world-class over anyone else that sells these types of products. And Firewood plays such an integral role in that journey. The reality is, unless your testing and development in the field with a customer is probably just as long as your development cycle, then you're not going to get that feedback. So
that was the first 2 years, wasn't it? First full 2 years, and we didn't sell much at all to the outside. We were just developing.
Today where we are, the knowledge we have on our specific areas is colossal. There's not a question we can't answer about our systems, and that's not just because of the engineering team, it's because of the R&D side on Firewood, and that's why it works having that UK-based company that does that R&D cycle for us.
And that was our vision, to be world class in every aspect of what we do. That is, and we couldn't do that before. And buying Reacton gave us the key to go out and build the company, the world class company that we've built, really.